Hello, you guys. Thank you for joining me for another three-pile pick a card. As per usual, if you're new to, if you're a supporter who's seen multiple of my videos, thank you for your support. And if you're new, I do community messages. Community messages just simply let you know what's taking place in your external environment so you can just be prepared and not from a place of fear or from a place of hate, but from a place of just simply knowing so that you can, do what's best for you and your family. Now, yesterday when I was out, you know, doing tarot at Union Square, I started to notice the origin of how females can become very mean to other females. And I saw it developing in a very young girl between the age of 7 to 8 years old. She was experiencing extreme neglect. And when one is experiencing extreme neglect and they have high emotional needs, and if they have a parent that's not exactly um, emotionally aware or mature, this can show up as either that person becoming a martyr in order to earn or gain um, some type of emotional support, or this can show up as in them consciously, strategically sabotaging another who does actually know how to emotionally support themselves or may receive it. So this is coming. This is a message that someone needs to know, because if you're having someone try to sabotage you and you don't know them, and it could be a female, more than likely they experience extreme neglect, and they had to learn how to be extremely smart about hiding it. Because if they're a grown ass person looking like a 3 year young child should look when they are expressing angst of being emotionally neglected, this is a red flag that this person can become emotionally erratic if they're an adult. So if you're experiencing a female who's trying to sabotage your foundation, what's triggering is that she needs to heal any type of neglect that only she can basically start the process with. If you, the more than likely this person is fully aware that if they act like how they felt as a child, it won't be well received. So they had to learn to move strategically to hide how deep the neglect can be. This is a person that can have codependency. And this is a person that if you do decide to, engage in sexual activity with them, it could go from, a fun time where, the sexual experience is one for the books, but then it goes to, what the fuck have I got myself into? If the person isn't actually taking the time to heal the emotional neglect on their own when they need to, okay? So this is showing up as, if you're dealing with a female of adult age who is acting out in a manner that a young child would act out when they're experiencing emotional neglect, and they're going above and beyond to hide these immature tendencies, 10 times out of 10 they still feel trapped in their past, and there's no reason that you should feel responsible for the way that they're maneuvering. And also, I'm picking up on some very mean women who could be trying to heal sexual abuse from childhood. So if you're being targeted by a female who does have sexual abuse from childhood, that they don't know exactly know how to go about healthily healing it, realize that they were once little girls, and before they became grown women, those little girls were once babies. Now those babies were sweet and innocent and full of love, but whatever they experienced in their childhood drained all the joy out of them, to the point where their existence became of trying to obtain joy, and however that showed up, even if it was a bit violent. They could have grew up in a very violent home. I'm picking up on very toxic females who are choosing to remain toxic, who have experienced unhealed childhood sexual trauma. So if this is the type of females that you could have trying to negatively impact your foundation, whether they're trying to become frenemies, whether they're doing spell work behind your back, if you have a custody battle with them, understand that these type of females move treacherously because they're viewing eyes from a child who has experienced treachery, and they understand that they were ignored as a child. So now as an adult, they're trying to be able to put the pieces together of why it is they're living the way they're living, but the pain of whatever happened in the childhood, they don't exactly know how to process this. So this could contribute to them being extremely treacherous and trying to negatively impact your foundation. This is nothing for you to be afraid of. This is just simply, if you can understand that they started out as babies and now they're showing in adulthood whatever they experienced in their childhood, you just have to simply understand they know not to act crazy as an adult. Because here's why. If they act like how they wish they could have acted as a child, this ain't gonna look good. You get what I'm saying? It's gonna look like you a grown ass person. I understand you feel like crying. Life is hard, but shit is hard for every one of us. So if you want to go and act immature that way, that's okay. That's on you. But here's what I'm gonna tell you. There's consequences for that. If you want to act like a child is allowed to act when they're angry as an adult, there's consequences for that. And everybody ain't gonna sit here and allow certain things. So realize that if you are dealing with a immature female who has unhealed sexual trauma and she is being treacherous because she grew up in a treacherous household, realize they are fully aware that there are consequences with the law. That's why they either have abused and exploited the law to get away with things, or if they try to get you involved in the law, they will try to specifically make it look as if they're the innocent parties. Now, if you are a father figure who has a child custody battle with a female of this type, then you understand how um, putting your mental health before anything is important, just in order for you to be able to provide consistent income for you to be able to take care of your child. If you're a female, you understand that you have to be very selective. If you're a healthy female, you understand you have to be very selective who you choose to call a friend, especially if you're dealing with treacherous females who is allowing unhealed sexual traumas to basically influence how they go about their interpersonal connections. Now, as much as we all desire human connection, we have to make sure that we are not contributing anything that will harm another person into a friendship. So if you are dealing with treacherous females who have unhealed sexual trauma, who are trying to start frenemy dynamics with you, they saw this happen in the home, more than likely. So basically, I would just say pray about it, because I'm a female and I've had my days where I've been extremely toxic, and then I've had my days where I'm right here in the middle way, then I had my days where I wanted to be uppity about shit, but now I remain in the middle way, because when I became uppity, I became homeless, and that was one of the greatest things I ever experienced. you know um the middle way has allowed me to be able to see, to not take these things personal. you know so if you're dealing with toxic people and they're really trying to trigger a strong emotional reaction out of you, and they're trying to develop frenemy dynamics with you just so that they can betray you and you can be connected to them emotionally, because this is how horrible they were treated in their own homes, pray about it. There's nothing more that You can't control a female that is driven by emotions and they're not balanced logically. You can't control that female. You can sit there and tell them this is A, B, and C, and this is what's practically happening. And I understand this is how you feel, but this is what's actually taking place right now. So you're going to have to basically find a healthy way to deal with your emotions on your own, in your own time, instead of trauma dumping onto others. Because right now we have to stay focused. Now, when you're dealing with females who are treacherous and they want to develop frenemy dynamics with you, and they're letting unhealed sexual trauma literally impact the way they move, you got to give it to God, because females like that, and I'm a female, I've been toxic. And for me to not be toxic anymore, I have to be honest with my shit. Dealing with toxic females who utilize love spells, sex magic, who also utilize they are very strategic as to how they're trying to trigger an emotional reaction out of you, especially if you have a child custody battle with them. It's best to just find that middle. The middle is, I'll tell you about the middle way from my experience. Whether I'm angry or not, I understand there's a time and place for everything. If I'm over here at the bottom, I'm sitting here and allowing abuse that I don't deserve. And this can impact me to have a warped way of thinking that I deserve it. So this is where we can't be victims. But we also can't be the bullies we're dealing with. And when you're dealing with treacherous females who are willing to start frenemy dynamics with you, and this is based off unhealed sexual trauma, this says here, this is not your problem. So this fun 3-pile picker card that I'm going to do, this is involving healthy sexuality. Okay? If you're a healthy person and you have a natural attraction, then you normally have more options in the dating pool. This means that more than likely you'll be treated 10 times better than the person who's willing to be in a martyr energy simply to get a little bit of affection and then to become the person that they slept with, the person's worst nightmare. This also applies to men as well. Men do it. This 3-pile picker card is for healthy individuals who understand healthy, sacred sexuality, not hypersexualization, healthy, sacred sexuality. And here's why. If you have an experience with a treacherous female who has unhealed sexual trauma and they're willing to start frenemy dynamics with you, then you possibly got the hypersexualized version of a sexual experience. Instead of getting a mature version of a sexual experience so that one is not so focused on achieving pleasure, but understanding this moment helped me have a new perspective. Now I have to be responsible. I have to make sure I have a roof over my family's head. I got to make sure I'm having peace in the workplace. I got to make sure my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, my overall health stays intact. I got to make sure I remember who I am before, during, and after this act. And I got to make sure that if a relationship doesn't work out the way I would hope, I got to make sure I remain healthy. If this is what healthy people do. So this is why, instead of saying, oh my gosh, be afraid of sexuality, you got to watch out for these people, realize all you got to do is develop more patience and put more energy into yourself. So when you're dealing with treacherous females, and this is coming up for a reason, and they're trying to basically hypersexualize the situation, but you know that it can become very toxic afterwards. Do not be afraid of sex. Simply understand you can have a healthy sex life. But you also have to be mindful that treacherous females ain't gonna stop doing what they're doing if they're choosing not to heal. So let's see, what is this 3-pile picker card going to be about? How can you protect your sexual energy from low vibrational perspective sexual partners? So let's see how to let's do it. How to protect your sexual energy from I got it from third party situations. Now, if you're watching this video, you possibly have individuals trying to create third parties for you. You know, you may be having you could and this if it doesn't apply that's good but if it does apply if you're doing this 3 power pick a card you could actually be focused on monogamy and a fidelity filled relationship but you may be dealing with temptation by having individuals trying to purposely start third party situations. You may also be aware that if a third party situation um, does happen, you may also understand that the person who is willing to be the side chick or the side dude, they're willing to create havoc for you. So they also may know about your temptations. They may know about how you like it. And this could be due to people gossiping. So they may, tune into gossip and they may have heard some shit they like and they may be like, oh shit, I want a piece of that. So they might be trying to strategically create third party situations in which heavy emotional manipulation would be used. Now, these are also the very same type of people who would do anything to save face. That means if you expose something very personal about them that is very, needs to be exposed, they'll either try to gaslight the situation. And this is where I'm picking up on people who are into the esoterics. They'll basically pull information from that soul tie that would be developed from sharing sexual energy with them. And then what they would do is they would basically utilize this to basically fuck your shit up. If you ever wondered if you have a child with somebody who's toxic and if you haven't cleansed your sexual energy after you got intimate with them and they knew exactly how to push your buttons, it's because there was a soul tie present and they were feeding on the information that they got from your sexual energy. All right. So more than likely, if you're going to be doing this 3 power pick a card, you may have your eye on one person. You may simply just be interested in one person, but you may notice people are trying to strategically cause third party situations. And if you are a sensitive person, you're like, hold on, I understand how this can negatively not only impact me emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, but also financially. So logically, if you are able to have good money coming in on a consistent basis, you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You want to enjoy the fruits of your labor with people who are on the same mindset that you are on, success track wise. And this means, you have your temptations, but you got the self-discipline to, be present and shit, right? Well, third party situations, they really like to be strategic about securing that bag. If you got that big money dick, or if you got that, gold, vagina, shit. So this right here said more than likely you can have people trying to trap you with a child. You can have these people can have STDs, but they don't give a flying fuck. Now, and you possibly like, I'm not gonna not have sex, but I'm also not gonna be foolish with it. So logically and practically, how do you protect yourself, your sexual energy, from third party situations? All right. I'll see you at your pal or pals of choice. Thank you guys for being present. Welcome, pal one. So the energy I got before I started your reading is that I wanted to practice more patience. Because I feel Clarity is needed in certain situations. So we're using the Kama Sutra Tarot for this particular deck. All right. But I felt like more patience was needed. More patience to understand something. um, your perspective of something could be warped due to past experiences. So you could be experiencing a new experience in romance connected to the intimate act of lovemaking. However, you could be asked to just simply slow down and see it from a new perspective, and to allow those new perspectives to naturally come to you, so you can see that whatever happened in the past is not happening in this present situation. Okay? We're blessed with the 13 of Cups, and I'm going to use this beautiful booklet to get more information. And this is the Queen of Cups, nurturing energy. So I feel like Pal One, if you're being asked to get a new perspective, this is helping you learn to be more nurturing to yourself. That way, you'll be able to attract a partner who will be nurturing to you intimately. If you haven't experienced um, nurturing intimacy, it can be very difficult to be able to know the difference between fucking, lovemaking, or something that's just, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you're being asked to realize you do deserve nurturing, and there are partners out here who actually are nurturing, like lovers. Um, in this picture, and I'm gonna show you guys this picture. This couple, both there's he's wearing a green, I don't want to call it a turban if it's not a turban, and she has on like a a, a transparent green shawl here. And this is saying there's harmony here. And also, if you see the way they're looking into each other's eyes, they're taking the time to understand each other. So being nurturing to yourself will allow you to be able to have discernment of exactly what nurturing feels like for you outside of bedroom acts. That way you'll be able to have discernment about partners who are actually genuinely nurturing. That's pretty cool, right? Because this will help you attract a partner who will basically attune to all of your sexual needs. If you've dealt with sexual partners who you have given your nurturing energy to, and it's just been very frustrating, and you haven't exactly experienced um, intimate pleasure via nurturing, you could have just gotten the act, but you could have been denied that tenderness that you deserve, but you could have given it to others. And forgive those people who were not tender to you, because they didn't understand what tenderness actually is. By the way, they hadn't exactly had good examples of tenderness, and some of them could have abused tenderness to the point that they got used to being able to get away with abusing tenderness. So you could have dealt with partners who um they could have gave tenderness to outside parties. If you were in a relationship, if you experience um being in a third party situation, they could have given that tenderness energy that you gave them to outside sources, and then they could have given you the aggression that they had from the stress of the third party situations that developed. And the thing is, they could have gave that tenderness energy that you gave to them to other parties because they thought they would be happier elsewhere. So this is a message that someone who screwed up know they screwed up. Um yeah. Anyway, so this is how to protect your sexual energy from third party situations. So be more nurturing to yourself. Be able to recognize nurturing in aspects outside of sex because this will allow you to be able to attract a monogamous partnership. Now, if you also look at this picture, there's a camel here. So these people on this camel understand that if they, tell foolish people about where to find water in a drought like place, they understand that people are going to either try to monopolize on the resources, or it's just going to, people are going to bring their trash to these places. So but by being nurturing to yourself, you'll be able to attract a monogamous relationship in which your sex life will be private. Private sex life attracts a drama-free lifestyle. So even if you do have third-party situations trying to be created, they it's like they have this ideology that they'll be able to have that peace that you guys may have together. And it's like they'll try to hoard onto it. So if something doesn't work out with a person, they'll be the type of people to start arguments and drama, and basically be unnecessarily jealous. Jealousy happens, so you have to work through that so that you don't sabotage the relationship. These are people who would commit infidelity and then project infidelity onto the people that they're trying to trap with sex. These are people I'm picking up who would like to negatively start third party situations where these third party situations can create what the fuck moments. I'm also picking up on people who will blackmail people. Like, somebody could be married, and what they'll do is they'll seduce the person successfully, and if they don't get what they want, but are completely out of the interaction, they'll blackmail the person. And instead of the person coming clean to their wife or husband, and you got males that will blackmail females. That's how true it is. The ambulance going by. That's how true it is. You got people that will blackmail people that they had like a infidelity filled romantic encounter with. They will literally just target you or your person so that they can blackmail your person for money. If your person has money, you got third party people trying to basically get money out of either you or your partner because they would like to start a situation and then blackmail you guys. So you got to understand, some people are pretty treacherous when it comes to sexual energy. All right. Now we also have the Six of Wands here. All right. So let's get oh Lord. Victory. All right. So let's talk about this one. You see how this couple is in nature, but it's not, this hypersexualized. I'm on very limited time. I don't have enough time to do this. And if you have dealt with people that just do quickies with you guys, it's because they chose not to make time for you guys. You could have dealt with people who they wasted their own time, and when they actually got access to healthy sexual energy, they basically toyed with it. You could have dealt with sexual partners who just did nothing but quickies and shit. And they could have purposely not made time for you guys because they wanted you guys to basically, be codependent on them for sex. But what they didn't tell you is that they were codependent on you guys. Anyway, patience is key here. If your partner doesn't have the balls to say to annoying people, I'm making time for my person. Don't call me if it ain't necessary. If you start some shit, I'm not coming to basically, help you get out of some shit if I made plans with my person. I'm not going to interrupt the time I'm spending with my family to be around you. So I feel like you guys are being asked to be patient because the person that you're attracting, they're going to be able to have firm, necessary boundaries when it comes to friendship groups. And they're going to set the example that my family comes first. We've known each other for a while, friendship wise, and I'm not going to isolate myself from you guys. But I understand, but if I logically spend more time with my friends here, my significant other will feel neglected. If I have children, my children will feel that we have to be buddy buddy in order for us to have close connections. And if I'm a mother or father, I need to make sure my children know I'm here for them. I also need to make sure my significant other knows I'm here for them. So you're attracting someone who's going to be like, look, I really do appreciate the fact that you want to spend time with me, but I do also understand that my family comes first. And what's interesting is a lot of men and women think this way, but peer pressure has convinced them that if they set boundaries with codependent karmic relationships, they feel that the retaliation will be so bad that this will break their family up if they set necessary boundaries. No, a strong family will grow stronger together if outside external sources actually try to bring unnecessary havoc. So you're attracting a partner who will make time for you, and people will know such and such is spending time with such and such. And if you do try to get in contact with them, they let you know what's going on. So you're attracting the type of romance, Power One, where you're going to be able to actually enjoy intimacy, where your partner will actually be serious about making time for you. If you have partners that don't exactly make time for you, or who don't exactly know how to set healthy boundaries, or when you do spend time together, they take it for granted, being nurturing to yourself will help you attract a partner who will be serious about making time for you, who will set healthy boundaries with people if they try to negatively get access to you. And you're also attracting a partner who will be able to protect you from the retaliation that comes with when you set boundaries, necessary boundaries with codependent people who got used to you being on a schedule, you know, that want a family, but they're not willing to do the actual work for a healthy family. So they'd rather interject and impede in other people's family lives. So you're actually attracting a partner who's actually going to respect that this is what family means to me, and this is exactly what I'm going to go about doing to get it. So that is your message, Power One. Thank you guys for being present, and I'm very grateful for you being here. So, welcome, Power Two. Before I started your reading, I felt this energy of being efficient and effective. I feel like this could have something to do with your finances. I feel as if, Power Two, you can have a very vivid sexual imagination, and you understand the type of money that comes with it. You also have to prepare. You guys may you guys may have very intricate fantasies, in which to actually make it come true, you'll actually need a good chunk of money to be able to purchase some things to do it. So you guys might be into toys or or role play and things like that. So you guys might be focused on, you know, I'm gonna make sure my financial foundation is where it needs to be. Because you guys could possibly understand that struggle of where you may have some great sex when you're both hurting, but when you're hurting all the time and you're around each other hurting, you could have warped views of each other. So you may be realizing broke sex is not about having money or not having money. It's about being able to stay focused when you have uncomfortability. So instead of I'm hurt and I want to feel better right now, and you piss each other off later, and it's like if I wouldn't be with you if the sex won't good. You guys are thinking long term. How do I be able to afford my basic needs, my family's requirements? How do I afford being able to um, be able to have some fun time here? But also, you guys might be romantic as well. So you may want to be able to have time set aside, for your significant other. But it's like you may also want to be able to have let it be known. Don't interfere with my sex life. You guys will be very specific about that. You guys may be your sex life may be very, very exclusive. Okay? So interesting channel message, pal, too. So you guys may be extremely focused financially, very focused financially, that you want to make sure the money that you have supports the lifestyle that you are dreaming of having. You're not the type of people to bitch and whine. Oh shit, I'm so upset. Then my day is going bad. You're like, look, I can't control the day, but what I can control is myself. So what I'll do is I'll plan ahead long term so I can be able to have even just a moment of what I would like. I feel like you guys reward yourself with long term, like you guys will work for a long period of time and then you reward yourself. And you like to make it count. So let's get how can you protect your sexual energy from third party situations? We have the Five of Pentacles, and we also have the Tower. Oh shit, you guys could be learning the hard way. That's why you guys could be moving in a different direction, okay? With the Tower and the Five of Pentacles. I'm going to get into the book, but you guys could be learning the hard way. That's why you guys are like, I know what I would like to do, but I understand that if I do what I would like to do too much, I won't have financial security. So you guys could be learning the hard way, you know. Um Now the intensity in these pictures, you guys could be learning from being involved in third party situations. You guys could I don't you guys I'm not saying this is y'all take what resonates, but you guys could have started and initiated a lot of third party situations. You guys could have a soul sexual soul ties with people from different backgrounds, and you may say we're just friends. So, if you do have a main person or had a main person, they could have failed a lot of people who were pulling on your energy because they wanted that connection. You possibly, when it comes to sex, pile too, you guys could create such fantasies for people, but you don't. But you could have learned the hard way by not being honest with this third party situation. Whoever it is that you had sexual relationships with, you possibly created such idea fantasy moments for them that when they would pull on your energy and you would be having multiple parties, multiple partners, you weren't exactly honest. So you could be learning the hard way um about being very conscious as to how you choose to emotionally connect with people. You could have connected with people from so many walks of life on so many different levels that there was so much deceit that the third party situations, you could have had people like, when am I gonna see you? And they only knew certain things about you. You could have revealed very little information, where the fantasy that they had about you was actually not who you truly are. So you could be learning the hard way with the Five of Pentacles and the Tower, how misleading people emotionally um can have you. Some of you guys could be experiencing bankruptcy, but you guys could have made things so intense with partners and not told them the truth that some of them could have retaliated against you and tried to get you to lose all kinds of fucking money. Now, there's nothing wrong with you having the fantasies that you have, but you could be learning the hard way, the very hard way, of why it is that you can't control a person during sex. You can't control the person before sex, during sex, after sex. You can't control a person. I'm picking up on some of the partners that you could have attracted. They could have gotten used to only hearing from you when you set the rules up. But when you started making some changes in your life, they could have reacted harshly, pal, too, because they wanted to feel how you made them feel. You could have attracted partners who are running away from their own realities of what's actually taking place in their life, and whatever you provided them sexually, it could have been so pleasing that they wanted that to lock up and marry. But if you know, they also could have justified mistreating you maliciously, as they did when you denied them access to you sexually. So you guys are learning the hard way um, why it is there's nothing wrong with having sexual fantasies that you can make come true. But as I stated, you can't control anyone before, during, or after sex. You guys could have attracted possessive people because you guys may have a bit of possessiveness. Now, this possessiveness, when it is not disciplined, it can become something sadistic. So, let's see what message you guys have on how to protect your sexual energy from third party situations. I feel like you may not know the reality of some of the people that you have slept with, but if these people actually told you what they were going through, and if you knew how much energy these and intention these people put into just to be your fantasy person, and if you knew how entitled they felt to your sexual energy, you would be very mindful that even if they're coming around doing everything that you like, they bringing nothing but trouble with them. And this is the Ace of Swords and the 11 of coins here. So we gonna wrap your message up, because pal two, I'm just gonna keep it honest. We got the Ace of Swords coming up here. If you have any possessiveness within you, and if you use this sexually, this is a form of toxic sex magic. Okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. Now, if you can become quite possessive sexually, you more than likely have attracted other possessive parties, sexual experiences. And the danger that comes with people who feel entitled to reliving sexual fantasies and where possessiveness is involved. You could be dealing with, if you're a male, you could be dealing with females who they want to hit you where it hurts. Where these are the type of females who will do some movie type shit where they'll be like, all you had to do was stay with me and I wouldn't have done any of this. I can fulfill every fantasy that you want, but you only can choose me. This is the type of female that would try to isolate you from healthy people. And if also if you're male and you're into males, this can apply for the same thing. It's like people who you've attracted some very diabolical situations and where you could have, you possibly, if you uh, carry possessiveness in you, you possibly did not want it to come out who you were sexually active with because you didn't want someone else to be with them. Oh, y'all, okay. I see y'all could be getting returned to senders as well. So, if you stay in a possessive energy, you will continue to attract possessive people. Pile two. This is not a reading where it's saying you can continue to attract possessive people. You guys could have a lot of money at one point, and you guys could have lost it due to dealing with diabolical people who possess possessiveness as well as you, and the situation could have turned extremely something where you may not have a lot of people to talk to about this shit. You may have attracted partners who look good and they know how to keep it together looking good, but literally they'll be trying to sabotage you the whole time and you wouldn't actually know how to get proof about it. So you guys have to start using more logic. Real shit, pal, too. You guys have to use more logic. Now, there's nothing wrong with you guys having the sexual appetite you have, but you guys have to move strategically. Not in where you're trying to possessively acquire someone, but you guys have to maneuver in a manner where if you understand the type of sexual energy that you carry with you, and if you understand you can attract abusive partners because there's something in you that could become abusive, you better take the time to heal this. Because what I'm picking up here, you've attracted partners who basically, because they feel entitled to your sexual energy, you made them feel so very different among others that they wanted to basically, it's like they're willing to destroy you by any means necessary. That means if you have a healthy connection with somebody, they're willing to negatively interfere with it. If your pride and joy is your money, they're willing to do this. Like I'm picking up, if you have abused and exploited sex magic, you have attracted partners like this who are into the occult as well. And to get access to you, they will do very diabolical shit. Let's look at the 11 of coins. Nav. So this is the Nav of coins. Okay. Practicality is much needed right now. You guys have to move practical and logical. You may be having withdrawal because you could be used to, if you tell somebody this how I like it, and the only way you can stay in my presence is if you do it the way I like it, you're gonna have to move practical. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the people that you guys could have become sexually connected with, they will do everything they can to have sex with you again, even if it's a female. Y'all have attracted some diabolical situations. I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all, pal, too. But what will happen when these people find out you don't have money? They're going to go on to the next one. But they gonna make sure they try to destroy you and try to make sure they metaphorically have red bottom heels on your neck. Even if you don't wipe your hands clean of them, you could start a whole brand new life. You could, get a pickup truck, have some happy, healthy people because they felt, or if they felt entitled to your energy, they would literally just try to keep their metaphorical red bottom shoes on your neck, all the while securing a bag with another fool that don't know what's going on. So logic and practicality is how you can protect your sexual energy from third-party situations. It's not that there's not a partner for you who will be able to do what you're asking. You just can't be possessive. Possessiveness will basically ruin anything healthy, and you'll have abuse occur in the relationships. And this is where it can become violent to the point that if you do get a new sexual partner, these people would have tried to hurt your new sexual partner. So I guess with the would have in the past, I think you guys are going to do what you need to do so that you can make sure if you guys do decide to have a family, your children are good, your grandchildren are good. Because you guys have tampered around with energies that will literally try to negatively impact your grandchildren, your grandchildren's grandchildren. And this is where you can't be playing around with your sexual energy power too. And we're going to end your reading there. I hope that helped you guys. Welcome, Pal 3. So let's um, get a message for you guys. The Hanged Man. Interesting. Okay. And I do not know exactly what this one is, but I feel good energy from this one because this could be the Chariot, but I'm gonna double check. The Hanged Man and the Chariot. So I felt stillness when I started your reading. I didn't exactly know how to describe it, but I also felt a calm, a peace, something like that. So it's a Chariot, progress. So pat yourself on the back for making progress, okay, you guys? Pal 3, it's how to protect your sexual energy from third-party situations. Sometimes just being still is enough. Stillness is more than enough. I feel like, Pal 3, you could be stepping into the shoes of someone that you truly love. And you could be learning to be gentle to yourself, to forgive yourself for past things that is out of your control at this point. Past things that staying knee deep in the situations, it's not going to be good for you. So I feel like you guys could be being able to see from another person's perspective, and that's progress. I picked up on very calm, still energy, very peaceful energy. So I feel like you guys, if you guys are interested in, if you're a male, learning semen retention, or if it's just simply taking a break from sex and seeing what this will do, go for it. It also will increase your creativity, your creative energy, but at the same time, the more pure your sexual energy is, you'll have more success in your financial endeavors. Okay. If you ever notice, men that talk about openly about their sexual partners, they have a lot more trouble getting money. And the females that they may attract may not be of the highest caliber. So if you notice, men who are around classy, beautiful women tend to attract more consistent, drama-free money. men who respect their sex lives, and the women that, well, I said women, but let me look. If you gonna do multiple parties, all I'm gonna say is be mindful that y'all mature, okay? But men who respect the sex life of the woman that they're with, if they're in the business world and the woman respects herself as well, they're more than likely get more money for business deals. Not where a woman's like, hi, aren't we a good looking couple? They gonna who if you're doing a business deal, they gonna take that. Oh, they gonna subtract more money because if the broad that you with is desperate, and if you didn't think before you brought the broad in, that's they already taking money from you. But if you got a woman that can be sexy and still at the same time respect herself and classy, she ain't got to show nothing. She show up and you know money coming in, and they'll even throw more money on it. And if it's a good working relationship, hey, I work with a good group of people, and let me tell you, they get the job done and they do it right. Here you go, work with them. Look, keeping your sexual energy pure will help you attract situations that do not have diabolical energy into it concerning money. Now, if you play dirty, then you're going to attract some dirty business type shit, okay? You know, I'm be honest with you guys real quick. I was at well, I be doing tarot at Union Square, and there was a guy and a female, and the female had been heavily abused. She had some kind of disease, and it was showing up on her legs. Now, he looked a little bit healthier than her, but the fact that she was his main and the fact that she was carrying the burdens of both of them, he possibly had something going on too. Well, their business ethic was whoever gave them money for their services, they would try to figure out how to rob that person. So, if you do business with low quality people, you're going to attract low quality shit. You do business with high quality people, you'll attract high quality experiences that will expand your human consciousness. So, this is pertaining to your sexual energy, pile 3. Step into the shoes of the person that you're sexually interested in. I want you to step into, if you're interested in multiple people, I want you to empathetically step into their shoes. Now, if you pick up a situation that you wouldn't want to be in long term, but you realize I like how freaky I can get with that person though, but I understand that if I don't accept them for who they are, I'm not going to be accepted for who I am. And I'm going to continue to have conflict, chaos, and confusion with sexual partners if I'm trying to change them, and they're trying to change me. Here's what happens. If you're sexually active with a person that you can see that you're not going to be compatible with long term, you're asking for trouble. If you guys come back to each other because you're more comfortable with each other when it doesn't work out with somebody else, you're basically saying to yourself, this is as good as it's going to get for me. I'm not exactly happy with this person. And if you got a child with them, well, I mean, it could be better, but let me, if you done tried and you just like, look, we can find a healthy way to do this, but I'm not happy here. Part of a healthy life involves a healthy sexual connection with yourself and your partner. And if you can't step into the shoes of your partner, you're going to be easily emotionally manipulated by other people who are just trying to figure out life too. And if you're constantly going back and forth with somebody that you are not compatible with, you just causing havoc, because both of you not getting clarity. You're both not happy. Come on, we got to keep it a buck here. So I feel like, how can you protect your sexual energy from third party situations? Put yourself into into think from the perspective of the partner that you would like to be sexually active with. If you were in your partner's shoes and and you knew that your person was actively stepping out on you and lying to you about it, and they were pulling away from you, well, how would you feel? Would you sit there and say, it's going to be okay, we're going to get through it? Be honest with yourself. Then take the necessary steps to not put yourself in a situation that can negatively impact your life, their lives. If you got children, put yourself into their shoes. Yes, temptation is normal. If you a man that like big butts and nice tits, and you like the way women walk, and you like to look at this shit every day, go ahead and look. As a woman, I have to be honest. I can't get mad at a man for looking at another beautiful woman. I'm a woman. I'm beautiful. There's a whole bunch of beautiful women out here, y'all. So I can't be mad if another woman got it going on, walk past, and the man look. But if he doing it like, I'm going to get that. I'm just like, hold on. You being disrespectful at this point, bitch. Because if I did that shit to a man, with a man walking past, you wouldn't like that. So if you understand that if you actively go out and step out on your partner, they going to be mad. And to keep the peace, they got to remove themselves from certain situations. I know some people, y'all, and I'm going to explain that chariot. I know some people, the only way they feel comfortable cheating is if they have a main person. They could have the best thing ever on the table, and they won't appreciate it. The only way, and the reason that they would cheat is so their partner could feel entitled and indebted to stand to them. I am healing from a relationship of that sort. My ex started getting so many love offers after he made it official that we were in a relationship, and he was getting so many flavors. He was trying so many different things. He was doing shit with women that he didn't even know what to do. He was like, hold on, player. And when he came home to me, he gave me the ugly side. So I knew if I stayed in that relationship, I would not be a healthy mother for my child. So I removed myself from that situation. So put yourself in your partner's shoes. Would you want to sit there and be in pain knowing somebody doing you dirty? Nah. And if you know somebody can do you right, why are you going to sit there and be miserable? So put yourself in your partner's shoes. And if you like to look at ass and tits and all kinds of shit, don't be rude and disrespectful with it. Openly talk to your partner about the shit. I got some fetishes. If you got a partner, talk to him about it. I got some fetishes. And these are my temptations. That don't mean you do this so you can basically start some shit. It means so your partner can understand. Now, this makes sense why you act this way when such and such happening. And take accountability. If you don't practice self-discipline and self-control, you already know what's up. And you got to live and learn from it and keep it pushing. So what I would say for you guys, Pile 3, how to protect your sexual energy from third-party situations. If you are willing to lose your partner, if they find out that you cheated, then don't fuck with somebody's energy. I'm gonna tell you why. We're in a climate now where people are so sensitive and people are serious about love. That you got people that are willing to do crimes of passion. Instead of removing themselves from those situations, they stayed and said, you know what, I hope it gets better. I hope it gets better. Just a little bit more time. It's going to get better. It didn't get better. One person was doing most of the work, or both partners weren't doing nothing. And then when they reached that breaking point, shit happened, bro. Because they chose not to become self-aware of what their triggers were. They chose not to understand they had a dark side. So when you're dealing with people like this, you got to understand. You can't be playing around with people's emotions. If you like what you like, have open discussions with the person that you're genuinely interested in. That way, if your person knows you have a habit of, doing some third-party shit and you actively cleaning your shit up, they gonna understand. The fact that you're able to talk to me about this says you're working through it. I understand how temptation works. I understand. But if you get close to cheating, understand, I'm gonna pick up on it. And I'm gonna leave your ass. And don't do no stupid shit. What's happening is people are recognizing if they want a healthy, happy relationship, they got to be healthy too. They also got to make their own happiness. And one way you're going to be able to see how to make your partner stay is step into their shoes. That don't mean tolerate unnecessary bullshit. That simply means be mindful that if you start a third-party situation, and most third-party situations, you have a lot of people that's willing to be the side chick only if your partner has value. You ever notice men with a busted chick? They don't have a lot of people try to get with them. But men with a bad chick, they be having hoes from every area code, every nationality you can think about, be trying to get it. Because those women are trying to get access to that person that they're with as well. There's a lot of bi females out here that's dishonest about their shit. So what I'm saying is, if you a man and you got a bad woman, you're going to have hoes from different area codes, from every nationality you can think, willing to put that thing on you, especially during the summertime. However, you're going to see that struggle come up when it's wintertime, and they can't walk around with barely no clothes on. And they got to wear whole ass stuff. And they trying to figure out, if I don't have my ass showing all the time, he ain't going to be interested. But the man will be worried about, how the fuck do I pay the bills right now? And the less money you got, the hoes going to go to somebody else who got money. So I want y'all to just know, third-party situations can result in crimes of passion if a person is emotionally erratic. Third-party situations, it's not because they're more only interested in you. You got people, hoes from different area codes of all nationalities, trying to basically essence theft. Now, most men I have met, they don't pick up on this. They think the women just want them. But then when they see the women that they cheating with acting like the very same woman that they with, they later years come back and say, I should have just treated that one woman right. So realize, step into your partner's shoes. If you got a partner that's faithful and she know that you got some shit, you know you got a whole bunch of admirers, all she's hoping is that you understand to the extent and the motivations behind it. If someone has to remove themselves from a situation because it's going to hurt both of y'all and they want to make sure that the situation between y'all stays healthy instead of it becoming, I hate your ass, that's real love right there. Instead of, you're cheating on me and I'm upset and I don't like how it makes me feel, and you got somebody spreading your business in the streets, fucking people that you know to make you upset. This ain't the time to be doing third parties, y'all. We got the Chariot here. With the wrong person, you can't have victory. You can have victory with the right person. So where, the moments that you do get access together, it's beautiful. You don't have to have sex all the time, Pile 3. You possibly have dealt with people who've had sex addictions. Sex addiction is so bad to the point that they have tried to basically justify the shit that they do. So cleanse your sexual energy, Pile 3. If you're going to still be sexually active, before, during, and after, make sure your partner is in on it too. You can go on YouTube. There's Reiki to cleanse your aura of past sexual partners. Because if you have soul ties connected to people with sex addictions, you will sabotage a healthy relationship. Now, a lot of people want a healthy relationship, but a lot of people aren't willing to do what they need to do for a healthy relationship. And if you got people who will strategically start third-party situations, especially if they aren't prepared for a healthy relationship, you can only expect toxicity to follow afterwards. If you got a female friend that acts like she's your friend, but you know that she's trying to get it in, if you got an ex-partner that's like, we used to have a good time and we can have a good time again, and they see you moving on and you treating somebody else better, realize that whatever issues that y'all had unresolved that needed closure, you're not going to get the closure you're looking for. You're going to get something else. So, Pile 3, how can you protect your sexual energy from third-party situations? Stop saying you got friends that's interested in fucking you. If you want to fuck them, go ahead, but realize anybody that's willing to act like they're your friend to get that dick energy, well, they got something up their sleeves. They could be sent by people trying to set your ass up. They could be literally trying to take shit from you and using you against you. Only you can fuck it up, Pile 3. When you at a crossroads of should I do the right thing or do the wrong thing, put yourself into the shoes of your partner. If you would not like to lose a good-hearted partner, then don't fuck around on them. If you fuck around on them and they stay with you, you already created distrust and disharmony. And you also got other people in your business. So that means it'll be easier to basically take your shit. If the person leaves you and you've been fucking around, leave them be. Because if you violated the trust of a relationship where sex took place, you got to think. I could go off the deep end and not have emotional regulation and emotional self-control and emotional self-discipline or emotional awareness. Or I could think long-term and see what can actually happen if I build with a person that's worthy of building with. Because right now, third-party situations are not going to end up pretty. Way too many sensitive people out here. Too much heartbreak, too much distrust. And you got people who will simply betray you. All because of misunderstandings. And if they can use sex to get you to lower your guard, come on, man. We had legends die. They've been set up by third-party situations with females, bro. Some niggas sent them to take out somebody they was jealous of. If y'all ain't aware of this shit, if you got consistent money coming in, somebody, if you a brother, somebody out there watching you grinding And they trying to send in traps, trying to use you against you. As I stated, only you can fuck this up, pile 3. All right, y'all. Have a good day.